Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we'll be learning the tarot cards one card at a time. Today's card is the first card in the deck, number 0 in the major arcana, the Fool. In this video we'll discuss what this card means when it appears in a reading, the symbolism of the Fool, the meaning of the Fool when it is upright and reversed, including some examples from my life, and at the end, I'll provide you with some questions to help you better connect with the Fool. So let's get started. The Fool is the first card in the major arcana with the non-number 0. The major arcana is also known as the Fool's journey. This is the journey that we all follow in life. We begin the journey with an innocent young man who experiences many ups and downs until he reaches card 21, the world, and the cycle is complete. Looking at the Fool card, we see a young male standing on the edge of a cliff. It's gorgeous and sunny outside. His face is looking upward and he can't see the edge of the cliff under his feet. He's carrying a hobo bag in one hand and a white rose in the other. He has a little dog by his feet. The Fool is about new beginnings, fresh starts, taking risks, and leaving the past behind. It can also represent the start of a literal journey. Perhaps you have a road trip or a vacation planned. It is a card about pure potential. The Fool has an innocent, childlike quality. He is pure spirit. He doesn't have a job, a wife, 2 kids, or a mortgage. He has nothing to lose, so it's easier for him to act without fear. So let's talk about the symbolism of the card. He is number 0. This can be considered the portal he is born into. Move to card 21 at the end of the major arcana, and you can see the figure stepping out of the portal, and his journey is complete. The background is bright yellow. This is the color of the solar plexus chakra, which represents personal power and self-confidence. The white sun represents purity and new beginnings that are coming directly from Source. The fact that the sun is partially obscured means that not everything has been revealed. This contrasts sharply with the sun card, which is card number 19, where the sun is much more prominent as he reaches the end of his journey. He has an open posture that shows fearlessness and optimism. Gazing upward shows that he is full of dreams and doesn't believe he will fail. I find his posture very interesting. I was 6 feet tall by the time I entered high school, and I've spent my life slouching forward and trying to disappear. So I love this open posture. And actually, I'm currently going to physical therapy, and one of my exercises is to stand like this, open and unafraid. And I think of the Fool's posture every time I do my exercises. The Fool is wearing a white tunic. Like the white sun, it shows that his intentions are pure. The outer tunic is very colorful. It shows creativity, but it also protects the innocence of the white tunic from the outside world. The 8-spoked wheel on his tunic represents the Wheel of Fortune, which we see in card number 10. His belt has 7 dots. That represents the 7 chakra points, or the 7 planets from ancient astrology. We see a laurel wreath on his head. According to myths, laurel wreaths do not decay and they are immune from lightning. This covers his crown chakra, showing that his higher consciousness is being protected from negative energy. The red feather in his hat represents strength and vitality. It's interesting that we see this feather again on the Rider of the Death card, number 13, but it is wilting to show a lack of vitality. And then we see the red feather again near the end of the deck when we reach the sun, which is card number 19, where the feather has regained its life. He has a white rose in his left hand. Roses represent passion. White roses represent passion and also his innocent nature. He has a white dog at his side. I like to think of him having the dog as a companion so he's not alone on his journey. The dog may also alert the Fool of danger, although it looks to me like the dog is ready to fall off the edge, so I'm not sure if this is actually true. He is wearing yellow boots. Like the yellow background, these represent personal power and self-confidence. The mountains are tall and jagged. They warn of challenges that the Fool may need to overcome. We see these mountains again in the background of the Judgment card, which is number 20, which indicates that transformation has occurred. He has a bag on the end of a stick, like a hobo would carry. If you look carefully, the stick is actually a black wand. We see wands in other cards of the major arcana, but they are white. We see a white wand in the Magician, which is card number 1. And in the final card, number 21, which is the World, she holds 2 white wands. His black wand represents unconscious power. It's also an example of foolishness. Notice that the Fool is in possession of this valuable wand, and he's using it to carry his luggage. So I think that qualifies as foolish. The bag at the end of the wand shows minimal possessions or traveling light. There's a lot of discussion over what is actually in this bag. Some people say that it contains his life experiences or memories of past lives that are with him but don't control him. Other people say that it contains the talents and skills he will need to survive. My favorite explanation is that it carries the 4 tools that lie on the Magician's table. These are a cup, coin, or pentacle, sword, and wand. However, he would need many versions of these to fit in the satchel. The bag has an eagle on it to symbolize his soaring spirit. You can see a stone hut behind him to our right. There seems to be just a door. This shows that he's emerged from a womb-like place. He's like a newborn ready to explore the world. When the Fool appears in a reading in an upright position, it represents entering a new phase in life, beginning something new, or making a fresh start. It can represent being spontaneous, feeling carefree and uninhibited, or acting on instinct. It can represent trusting yourself to take a leap of faith, or the need for you to lighten up about life and be less serious. It can also mean that you need to take action, so it's time to just stop overthinking things and move forward. And it can literally mean you are going on some kind of journey. So an example from my own life, I've been embracing the Fool as I move towards a new career reading tarot cards. My previous careers have been as an accountant, a freelance writer, and a business coach. I grew up in a very religious household, and I really doubt the church people would have supported this. So maybe I'm a bit like the Fool. I also have a dog, a miniature dachshund, who is with me as I enter this new phase in my life. Thank you, by the way, for joining me in this hopefully not foolish journey. So when the Fool shows up in a reading and he is upside down, or we say in the tarot world, reversed, it could mean that you are being foolish, that your naiveness might get you into trouble. It might mean that you ended up in a situation where it's a new beginning even though you didn't want it. So maybe the loss of a job or a relationship. It could mean that you are taking too many risks and you need to be more cautious and look before you leap. And it could mean literally that a trip or journey that you have planned won't happen or will be delayed. So an example from my own life, I have many family members with type 2 diabetes. It's really a new beginning that nobody wants or is excited about. And I think about watching people mess around with their blood sugar and take too many risks. So if the Fool appeared in this situation, it could be a warning to stop taking your health to the edge of a cliff and manage your diabetes better. So finally, let's talk about how to connect with the Fool. And I'm going to give you 5 questions that you can answer. Number 1, what is a risk that you would like to take? What is holding you back? For example, would you like to read tarot cards, but you feel like your ultra-religious family would disown you? Number 2, what parts of the Fool could you embody in your life? I know for me, being more spontaneous would be a good one. Number 3, what could you give up so that you could travel more lightly through life? For example, do you need to hang on to your college textbooks despite the fact you are now ready to retire? Or do you have some ideas or beliefs that it's time to give up? Number 4, is there a trip that you would like to take? And finally, number 5, where in your life are you being foolish or taking too many risks? Certainly my example about my diabetic family members fooling around with their blood sugar would fit this. I'd love to have you share your answers to these questions in the comments under the video. Stay tuned for the next card, number 1, which is the Magician.